morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to AnMan433. AnMan was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus wins this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, with a review of another neat drone, folks. This is the LSRC KS66. Now, looking at this drone, you can tell right away that the developers of this drone were truly inspired in the design of this drone. It's constructed of metal and plastic, mostly plastic, folks, but there are metal components here, namely on the arms, and on the frame itself. This is metal also down here, but the rest of it is all plastic, okay? So it's a hybrid design of metal and plastic, so it should be somewhat sturdy, although I have some concerns about the landing gear here. But this landing gear is removable, and again, you could probably fly just using this as your landing gear also if that landing gear does break on you. And in fact, I'm probably going to do that because it seems to bounce around too much. Let's remove that landing gear. We're going to fly it without this particular landing gear. So there's no real need for this. They provide it, but I don't see a real need for it. Okay, again, metal and plastic. It only weighs 205 grams. Okay, that means it does not require registration nor remote ID in the United States or in most countries. Also, this does not require registration. However, keep in mind it does have a camera. So for those countries that do require registration of drones with cameras, then this would be required. But in the United States, no, it does not require registration. Now, it is a brushless motor drone. Okay, what's neat about this, folks, is this drone only costs about $40 to $50. We're starting to see a lot of brushless motor drones come out in that price range with cameras. Okay, that's unheard of. A couple of years ago, that would be over $100 if you wanted a brushless motor drone with a camera. Now they're coming down to $40, $50 price range. Very inexpensive these days. On top of that, it has optical flow sensor on the belly. Now, I've already tried this. This optical flow sensor here is pretty effective, okay? At least in my front yard it was, and in my basement. Now, I haven't tried it in wind yet. Tomorrow's supposed to be a breezy day. I want to take it out and fly it. We'll actually see how it works in the wind. But on relatively low wind, it works very well. I can attest to that right now. Now, it does have bright LEDs for indoor and night flying. Let's see if I can, let me plug in the battery first, and then turn it on so that you can see the LEDs here, those ESC chirps. But looks pretty nice at night for those of you that do like to do night flying. It has lights on the bottom of the motors and on the top, and that's about it. So we got 4 LEDs on each of the motors and an LED on the top of the drone. So it does look pretty nice for night flying with this particular drone. Now, it is powered by a 3.7 volt, 2000 milliamp hour battery. This is one of the largest 3.7 volts I've ever seen, folks. It's a pretty big battery. Now, it is, you charge it. I would recommend using a wall charger, a phone wall charger to charge this particular battery, because 2000 milliamp hour battery, trying to charge it in your USB port of your computer could take quite a long time. So again, I recommend using a wall charger to charge this particular battery. Now, this battery is supposed to give this drone 10 to 15 minutes flight time. So let's say that it probably is going to be more closer to the 10 than 15 minutes, especially if you're doing normal flying. But if you're hovering, you might be able to squeak out 15 minutes with this particular drone. Now let's talk about the camera on it. It's available in 2 versions. There is they call it a 4K version and a 6K version. In reality, folks, the 4K version has a 480 pixel sensor in it, and the 6K camera has a 720p sensor built into it. Now, why do they call it 4K and 6K? Because the software that this uses, the Wi-Fi UAV app, uses interpolation, electronic enlargement, to enlarge still photos from that camera up to, for the 4K one, it's 4,000 pixel in width, and for the 6K version, it's 6,000 pixel in width. It's 6,144 pixel by 3456 pixel. Now, both of those are just frame grabs of that 480 by 720 pixel video. So why would you want to do that? Why would you want to interpolate it? You don't. There's no real reason other than for marketing, so that they can claim that this is a 4K camera with a 480 pixel sensor. So, but keep in mind, this is a $40 to $50 drone. You are not going to get a true 4K camera on a drone for $40 to $50. Keep that in mind, folks. It's just not being realistic. Now that video, let's talk about the video. I said 720p. I got the 6K version with 720p sensor. It records that video, interpolates that video up to 1080p onto your phone at 20 frames per second. Now that video is not the best in the world, but again, keep in mind it's a $40 to $50 beginners learn to fly drone with brushless motors. So it's usable and it's suitable for beginner pilots, but you are not going to become a cinematographer with this particular drone, but you will learn to fly with it, and it pretty easily too, especially with that optical flow sensor. Now I mentioned the app. This uses the Wi-Fi UAV app available on Play and on the App Store. And with that app, you can view and record video directly to your phone. There is no micro SD card slot on this drone for recording video. The only way you can record video is to your phone through Wi-Fi, with the inherent limitations of Wi-Fi. And you'll see what they are when we take this for a flight. But again, you record directly to your phone. Now it uses common 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So for those of you that have older phones, you don't have to worry about that 802.11 AC Wi-Fi. It should work. This drone should work with most phones because of, again, using only 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Now let's talk about the controller. The controller supposedly gives you out to 100-meter range with this particular drone. Now the FPV, though, I doubt is going to make it out to 100 meters, probably 30 to 40 meters, 50 meters max. But beyond that, you should still be able to fly line of sight with this drone out to about 100 meters using the controller. Just keep in mind you will not be recording video while you're out there because, again, the only way you can record video is through Wi-Fi to your phone, and I doubt that you're going to be getting that type of range with the FPV. But let's talk about the buttons on the controller. We got this basic throttle, rudder or yaw, and pitch and roll on this stick here. Other buttons on this is your rates button for changing beginner, intermediate, and expert rate to make it fly faster and turn faster. Additionally, we have headless mode on this button here. And also you can do one key return by pressing and holding this button, and the drone will fly the exact opposite direction it was pointed at takeoff. Keep in mind that one key return is not return to home, folks. All it does is fly the opposite direction that the drone was pointed when it took off. Other buttons on the controller, we have this button here starts the drone, puts the drone's motors into idle speed, and then you can do either an automatic takeoff by pressing that button here or giving it throttle to do a takeoff. And it also has automatic landing by bringing this button down here, or just lower the throttle until the drone lands and it will shut off also. On-off switches right here for turning the controller on and off. Again, I mentioned this arms the motors and brings the motors into idle spin. Or if you land in a tree and you want to stop those motors from burning out your ESCs, press and hold this button and the motors will stop. Do not do that while this drone is in flight, or the motors will stop and the drone will plummet to the ground. We do have trim control on this, and you activate trim by pressing this button here. And then I don't know if you really need the trim because of the optical flow sensor, but if it's drifting left or right, you can counter that by pressing this button here and going in the opposite direction that it's drifting. And then once it stops drifting, you press the button again, and it should remember that. And you can take a photo with this button here and take a video or start and stop video by pressing this button here. The controller uses 3 AAA batteries. As you can see there, I got these high quality sunbeams in there from the Dollar Tree. And finally, this swivels up so you can put your phone in here and use your phone with this controller with the Wi-Fi UAV app. Let's go over what you get with the package. In the package, you get a nice carrying case with this particular drone to carry the drone and its accessories with a zipper top there. Additionally, you get the drone, of course. You get an instruction manual over here. Very basic instruction manual, but this review here should help you get in the air for points that instruction manual doesn't cover. You also get an instruction manual for the app. But again, this app is mainly for recording the Wi-Fi video from the drone and the photos from the drone, and for also viewing FPV video while you're flying. It has other features too, but they're all gee whiz type of features that you really are probably rarely going to use. Okay, you get 1 or 2 batteries, depending which version you get. You can get an extra battery with this particular drone. I would recommend getting one if you want an extra battery, because once you get this drone, you order this drone and receive it, it's going to be a hard time getting additional batteries for it. So if you are contemplating additional batteries, buy it at the time of purchase. Now, I want to talk about one other thing. This battery, if you look, it has a micro USB. Well, actually, yeah, that's micro USB port right there. So it's charged using micro USB. However, it does not have a charge stop sensor in here. Okay, you can't overcharge it, is what I'm trying to say, if you plug it directly into a micro USB cable into your charger or into your wall charger. For that, you must use this charger that comes with the drone. It has this device here. This will stop sending charging current to the battery once the battery is fully charged. If you don't use this, you will overcharge this battery. So don't do that. If you overcharge this battery, there's a chance of fire, folks. So do not use a regular micro USB cable to charge this battery. Use the provided charger, always. Okay. Other things you get in the case, you get the controller. You get these optional landing gear, which I'm not going to use, okay, because they're really flimsy, folks, and they bounce a lot. I'm going to use the legs that it comes with a particular drone without this landing gear. It's not needed, really. And finally, you get a spare set of propellers and the obligatory tiny screwdriver for removing that screw that's on the back of this. I guess that's a law in Europe. It's not in the U.S., but I guess it's a law in Europe that you have to have, for battery powered devices, you have to put a screw in there so the kids can't get at those batteries. So that's what you get with the LSRC KS66. Let's take it out into the field. Actually, I'm going to take it in the basement too and show you how it flies, and then we'll take it out into the field and see how it flies outdoors. So hope you enjoy these flights. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to the indoor test flight of the LSRC KS66. Okay, to start this up, let's put it on a flat level surface first, like there, my landing pad, and press and hold the on-off switch like so. Then turn on the controller by pressing and holding the button there, and it automatically binds to the quadcopter. Now, I'm not going to fly it indoors with the camera. We're going to demonstrate the camera in outdoor flying, but let me get down on my knees here so we can get to the same level as the drone here. But for automatic takeoff, we need to first unlock the motors by pressing that button here, then pressing automatic takeoff. And let's see if that optical flow works. It works real well, folks. That's what's cool about this drone. There was another brushless motor drone that I reviewed about a week or two ago that also had a super optical flow system. So I'm really liking to see these new brushless motor drones come out with optical flow systems that actually work. Okay, so see, I rotated there, drifted a little bit, and then it's holding its position again. So really cool that it can do that. Let's go up a bit higher. Right there, and turn it again. Let's see if that works. Optical flow is working. Let's take it a little flight around the area here, over my test drive facility over there. Seeing if it'll stop. Whoa. Okay, the optical flow is bouncing. It's bouncing around over there because it's hitting a lot of buffeting of the wind off of the little village over there, but it's holding its position right there. Let's go a little bit farther forward. Will it stop? Stopped its position. It's hovering right there. So again, pretty easy to fly this thing. Now, flying it indoors like I'm doing, I don't know about that. Again, I don't recommend flying brushless motor drones indoors. I'm just showing you that it can be done though, but I would not recommend it really, folks, because those motors are spinning really fast on that brushless motors. They can hurt you. So actually, I'm a little closer than I should be to this, but I just want to show you it in flight. So it is a neat drone, neat looking drone, neat flying drone, and it works very well, that optical flow, at least indoors and outdoors on low wind days. But again, tomorrow it's supposed to be somewhat breezy, so we'll see how well it does on a breezy day. So let's rotate it again, and I'm going to land it here. We're not going to go through the whole battery indoors here. I'm just showing it in indoor flying. Let's see how close I can get to the pad here and lowering the power and landing. So that's a quick indoor flight of this. Now let's take it outdoors, folks, and see how it performs outdoors. So hope you enjoy this second flight. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to beautiful Pleasant Ridge Park on a brisk fall day for the test flight of the KS66. Okay, to turn this on, first off, I'm going to bend this antenna down a bit here to give it a better reception on the drone. And to turn it on, we're going to hold on until we hear the ESC's trip on the on-off switch there, and then put it on a flat level surface and connect it to the controller by turning the controller on. And I think it's automatically connected. Let me make sure. Yep, and turning it off. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is connect the Wi-Fi signal from the drone to my phone, or actually use my phone to look for the Wi-Fi signal from the drone and connect to it, same way that you would connect to home Wi-Fi, except no password required. So hold on while I do that, folks. Okay, this is the Wi-Fi UAV app, available on Play and on the App Store, and hitting start, and we should have FPV video. We do, but notice that the FPV video is slanted downward, and that's because, hold on, notice the slant of the camera on the drone. So you're going to get a downward angle from this particular drone with its camera view. There's no way around it because of the design. But with that in mind, let's take to the air and see what it looks like. So hitting the unlock button and giving it automatic takeoff. And let's see how that optical flow system is working. We do have a breeze, and it's about a 6 to 7 mile per hour breeze. Pretty good breeze, actually. With that in mind, the breeze is coming from that direction. If I turn the drone toward my position, right there, let's see how it's holding its position there. And hitting record on the camera video. So, there we go, folks. I'm not flying it. It's flying itself. But it's doing a relatively good job. With that in mind, let me pull backward a bit, because I want to go a bit higher and see how it does. How high can we go before we lose control of the drone, before it starts drifting? Going up a bit higher still. Still pretty darn good. Okay, I'm about, I don't know, about 20 feet up. Let's go a bit higher. See how high we can go before losing signal or before it starts drifting. We're a good 30 feet up, I'm guessing. Still holding its position really, really well. I'm pulling backward a bit to get me back in the picture again. And while we're up there, let me sync the cameras. So it's excellent. I mean, the optical flow on this particular drone is really, really good. And there is a big wind up there, I know that. It's about 10 miles per hour right there, but it's holding its position real well, although it is bouncing around a bit, as you can see there, because of the wind. So the optical flow in this is excellent on this particular drone. Let's push forward now, folks, and fly it around. Actually, there goes my wife and dog. Let's go see them. See if we can pick them. Oh, there they are. Flying over toward them using FPV. It's working excellent, actually, folks. Following the wife and dog. Just using FPV. So, excellent little drone, isn't it? For the price. I mean, this is excellent drone. Beginners learn to fly drone. You shouldn't have a problem. Look at it up in the sky there. I am not flying it. Okay, it's holding its position all by itself using that optical flow. And it's good 30 feet in the air. So let's fly it around the area. See how far we can go before we lose that FPV video from this particular drone. Okay, it's getting hit by a real big breeze right now. It's pushing backwards, so we're going to have to go to higher rate. Let's go to expert rate. See if we can fight the breeze. Yeah, it can easily fight the breeze in expert rate. But going over here, plopping it there. We still got FPV signal, so I'm surprised. Let's go a bit higher. Now, if only they would change the camera so that it would have a forward view, this would be over the line on this particular drone. Everybody would want this drone, because look how steady it is up there in the sky. We're 40 feet up. I've gone up higher, folks. Let's go, I'm guessing about 50 feet now. Let's see how high we can go and still get signal and video from the, I'm still getting video from the drone. Okay, we're drifting now. We're about 60 feet up, I'm guessing. And it's slowing down a bit. But yeah, no, the wind's got it up there at about 60 feet. So that's about the highest you can go is about, I'm guessing 60 feet. But let's bring it down now, folks. And the next thing I want to do is bring it over. Bring it back down again. Oh, it's such a nice little drone. I am inspired by this drone. That they can make a drone like this at this price that works this well in the wind. I mean, it is windy right now. Let's stop that video camera, or actually bring it down a bit. I want to sync up the cameras before I stop that video camera. So I haven't done that. This is to make sure that my lips and my voice and my lips are in sync when I'm talking to you here with the drone. But let's bring it down lower and take a close look at this thing. Really, really nice what it's doing in the wind. So, oh yeah. Whoever made this, the company that made this, you got a nice drone here, folks. What you need to do is point that camera upward and you'll sell a lot of these. But right now, you know, that camera downward there is a limiting factor of it. But now, let's see how it performs as a sport drone. Again, I am at high rate. Let me take a picture first. I didn't take a picture yet. Going up a bit. See. I should have took a picture. Another one. Let me get back a bit. Second picture. One more picture. So, yeah, you're not going to do any cinematography with this particular drone. But even so, it's still a great drone. Let's see if I can turn off there. No, I'm using this screen here to try to turn off the toggle or the virtual joysticks here, but I'm not seeing it, unfortunately, how to do that. I don't know what I just did. Let's come out of that. Going back to that, click that again. Oh, we got double screen. Clicking it again. What do we got? It goes back and forth between screen and double screen. So, goodness. There we go. That's what I was looking for. How to turn that off so I can use screen recording. Okay, one more time. Let's go back up again. Get the sun in my face. And pulling back a bit. And okay, just show them one more time the camera. But for now on, for the rest of the flight, let's see how this performs as a sport flyer. Bringing it over. Okay, I'm in high rate. Going in the wind. Now that's, you hear that beeping? That is the telemetry warning. It gives you about a 2-minute warning when the battery gets low. It flies well. This is a good learn to fly drone for beginners. Okay, bring it back down. Lower. Lights are blinking. So, all in all, a great beginner's learn to fly drone. I'm going to try to get a thumbnail here before the battery goes out completely. Again, I'm not flying it. It's being buffeted by a lot of wind here. We got a lot of wind, but it doesn't care. It's doing a real good job fighting that one. Better than the GPS, a lot of GPS drones, I guess. So, again, very appropriate for beginner flyers, but mainly for indoor flying. I would strongly recommend beginner flyers keep indoors with this particular drone. So, remainder of the flight, fighting the wind. Oh, that wind is picking up big time. It's about 15 miles per hour right now. Big gust just coming through here, but it's fighting it. Can it hover in that 15 mile per hour gust? Yeah, I'm surprised. It can. Excellent drone. Excellent drone for beginners. I like it a lot. So, let's try the headless mode. Headless mode, pushing forward. See, with headless mode, it don't care what direction it's pointed. You can fly it. Coming back out of headless mode, though, I don't like headless mode, actually. Because the optical flow system doesn't work very well in headless mode. But when you're out of headless mode, it works well. Fight that wind. That breeze is coming from the right here. It's real strong. But it's being buffeted, but doesn't care. Again, that makes this drone excellent for beginners. Wow, the wind is really picking up. I don't know if you can hear it, but doesn't care. Look at that thing. Hover by itself in a strong gust. I like this drone. For the price, folks, if you want to learn to fly a drone, this would probably be the one you want. You're not going to get some cinematography out of it. That camera is not the best, but the drone itself, in flyability, it's a great drone. Maybe you could put a little keychain camera on the top of it, or on the bottom of it, and go with that if you want a cinema drone. Wow, I can't believe it can fly in this wind and hover in this wind. Come down a bit, come down a bit. We're gonna fly it. And there I am in the picture saying, how do you like I didn't show you my shirt today, folks. There's my shirt today. But darn good drone in the wind. And I'm surprised we're still flying in this wind. So going forward again. Going around the other way. Maybe put a flip feature on it too, manufacturer of this drone. A flip button, that'd make it even more fun for beginners. Normally I don't like flip buttons, but those are on brushed motor drones because brush motors tend to burn out with flips. But these brushless ones should be no problem. All in all, a great outdoor drone. A great outdoor drone, I gotta say. Again, don't fly this indoors. Those motors are powerful on this. If it can fight the wind like that, that will ding you up good if you run into those blades. Mainly for outdoor flying. Another thing, manufacturer of this drone, you're given the telemetry warning comes on too soon. Maybe adjust that so you don't get this annoying beep so early in the flight. Because I still got a lot of battery power, it seems. But we're going to fly until it either drops from the sky or lands itself. We're going to find out what it does. Plopping it again on this beautiful day here at Pleasant Ridge, coming back down. I like this drone. More thumbnails on it. Coming down a bit lower. More thumbnails. Just in case. Oh, there we go. And that'll be the end of the flight. Rapid beeping. And that's it. So that's the flight time you get out of it. Let me stop any video recording we might have been doing here. Video recording should be stopped. So, all in all, the KS66 is a great beginner's drone. Let me sync up the cameras. Great beginner's drone. Here, let me get the sun in my face too. Great beginners learn to fly drone. Highly recommend it. Again, don't be too thrilled about the camera. You won't be thrilled about the camera, but the drone itself is a good drone. Nice to fly. So, here, let me hold it up properly. Hope you enjoyed this flight with the KS66 Quadcopter 101. Signing out. Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.